2022, Grade 8, AMC 8, questions 1 through 10. The math team designed a logo shaped like a multiplication symbol. Shown below on a grid of 1-inch squares, what is the area of the logo in square inches? Okay, so we have to figure out the area, and that shouldn't be that hard. So what is one way of doing this? There's several ways, right? So I'm just going to kind of split it up into sections, so like that. And then you'll notice that all of these boxes are the same, but I'm really going to concentrate just on the triangle because all of these triangles are the same. And how many are there? Well, you can count them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. So there's 20 of them. So we have 20 of those triangles. Now each triangle, the area, is 1/2 base times height. Now the base is from here to here, which is 1. And the height is from here to here, which is also 1. So that's basically how you'd calculate the area. So this looks like 10. And that's all there is to this. So that would be answer choice A. Consider these two operations. What is the value of 5 diamond 3 star 6? Okay, so it looks like we have to use these two operations and figure out this final problem. Okay, so let's do the first one. 5 diamond 3, according to this guy, would be 5 squared minus 3 squared. So we're just using this formula. And this is 25 minus 9, which is 16. So that means that this right here basically becomes 16 star 6, because 5 diamond 3 we calculated as 16. So now we have to go back and then use this formula now to figure out what is 16 star 6. So that looks like it's 16 minus 6 all squared. So that's 10 squared, which is 100. So the answer to number 2 is D. When 3 positive integers a, b, and c are multiplied together, their product is 100. Suppose that a is less than b is less than c. In how many ways can the numbers be chosen? So we have a times b times c, and they're saying that is 100. Okay, well, what is 100? It's 2 to the power of 2 times 5 to the power of 2, right? If you break it up into its prime factors, it makes it a little easier. Okay, the prime factors, there's not that many. 1, 2, 4, 5, 10, 20, 25. Actually, they're not prime. They're just factors. 50 and 100. So we have to figure out a system of plugging 3 numbers from here into here, here, and here. And then the product is 100. And also, this is the very important condition we have to satisfy, that A has to be less than B has to be less than C. Okay, let's fiddle around with this. Let's try A as 1. If A is 1, I can make my B as 2 and my C as 50. Choosing, of course, from these numbers. Does that equal 100? It does. Okay, so we got 1. Now let's try again for 1. I can choose 4 for B and then 25 for C. That also equals 100. And I think I can squeeze one more by using 5 for B and 20 for C. Okay, so I think I'm done with the 1 for A, because if I go higher than 5, like for example, if I use 10, then I would need a 10 for C, and I can't use the same number twice. So that I think I've exhausted. And also, I won't be able to meet this condition if I go higher than 5 for B. Okay, so now let's try another value for A. And I'm going to try 2 for A. If A is 2, then I can make, let's see here. So these two multiplied together would have to equal 50. So how about 5 and 10? That would work. And that also satisfies this condition right here. And fiddling around, you will find that these are the only ones that work. And interestingly, 4 is the highest, so you don't even need to keep going because there is no 5 in the answer choices. So they kind of made it a little easy for us that once you get 4, you know that for sure 4 is the right answer. The letter M in the figure below is first reflected over the line Q and then reflected over the line P. What is the resulting image? Okay, so let's figure this out. So basically these lines are being used sort of like as mirrors, right? So first reflected over the line Q. So this is line Q right here. And if it's going to be a mirror image, it'll be right across and it'll be right here. But be careful that you draw it in the correct orientation. So as you can see, I drew it. The M is sort of on its side there. And then you're reflecting it in the line P, which is right here. So then again, it goes right across and reflects like that. So that's pretty much all there is to this question. And which one of the answer choices? That looks like it's E, this one right here. Anna and Bella are celebrating their birthdays together. 5 years ago, when Bella turned 6 years old, she received a newborn kitten as a birthday present. Today, the sum of the ages of the two children and the kitten is 30. How many years older than Bella is Anna? Okay, so we have Bella, we have Anna, and we have this kitten. The Bella, it says right here, 5 years ago when Bella turned 6. So if she was 6 5 years ago, then today she's 11. Okay, that's pretty straightforward. And then 5 years ago, she received a newborn kitten, so that means the kitten today is 5. And Anna, we don't know. But then we are told that the sum of the ages of the two children and the kitten is 30. So that means 11 plus A plus 5 is 30. So that means A would be 30 minus 16, which is 14. And then they're asking, how many years older than Bella is Anna? Well, Anna is 14, Bella is 11, so that would be 3 years older. Anna is 3 years older than Bella, which makes this question have the answer C. Three positive integers are equally spaced on a number line. The middle number is 15, and the larger number is 4 times the smallest number. What is the smallest of these numbers? Okay, so let's draw a number line, and they're saying the middle number is 15, and then the other ones are equally spaced. Okay, so this is the same as this. Okay, I don't know what these numbers are, so I'm just going to call them X. And they're saying that the other number is 4 times the smallest number. So if this is the smallest number here, this is going to be 4 times, so 4x. Okay. And then these intervals, well, this interval up here is equivalent to 15 minus x, the distance from x to 15. And this interval would be the equivalent to 4x minus 15. And then we are told that they're equally spaced, so that means that this and this are equal. So 15 minus x is equal to 4x minus 15. So that means that 5x is 30. So that means x is 30 divided by 5, which is 6. Okay, so that means this is 6. And this would be 24. And this is 9. And this should be 9 also. 4 times 6 is 24. Yeah, it is. So everything works out. So what do they want? What is the smallest of these numbers? Well, the smallest of these numbers is 6. So the answer would be, the answer for number 6 is 6. And that is choice C. When the World Wide Web first became popular in the 1990s, download speeds reached a maximum of about 56 kilobits per second. Approximately how many minutes would the download of a 4.2 megabyte song have taken at that speed? Note that there are 8,000 kilobits in a megabyte. Okay, so first we have to take this 4.2 megabytes and multiply it by 8,000 to get the number of kilobits, and then divide that by 56 kilobits. And that will give me how many seconds? So this is 33,600 divided by 56, which is 600 seconds. And I believe they want how many minutes? Okay. So 600 seconds, divide that by 60. And when you do, you get 10 minutes. So 10 minutes to download a song back in the early 90s. And that would be choice B. What is the value of this expression? Okay, so we have to first, I'm not going to write out all of it because I don't think it's necessary to write out all of it, but I'm going to write out at least a few more. So 4 over 6, 5 over 7, 6 over 8, 7 over 9, dot, dot, dot. And then similarly, right, 17, 18, 19, 20, and the denominators 19, 20, 21, 22. You really don't need to write out all of it because something happens, right? Things cancel, and you guys have done these questions before. You guys know that when there's products, a lot of things will cancel. So notice this 3 cancels with that 4 with that, 5 with that, 6 with that, 7 with that, and so on. These 8s will cancel with that 8, that 9 will cancel with that. Eventually, 17 down here will cancel with this 17. The 18 down here will cancel with that, 19 with that, 20 with that. There you go. So the only thing that is left, I will circle, are those numbers. So they will be 1 times 2 over 21 times 22. And then this is 1 over 21 times 11. And then that's just what? 210 plus 21, 231. Yeah, 231. And that's it. So that's pretty cool, right? So number 8 is B. A cup of boiling water, 212 degrees Fahrenheit, is placed to cool in a room whose temperature remains constant at 68 degrees Fahrenheit. Suppose the difference between the water temperature and the room temperature is halved every 5 minutes. What is the water temperature in degrees Fahrenheit after 15 minutes? Okay, so we have water, we have the difference, and then we have the room. Okay, so initially the temperatures for the water is 212 and the room is always 68. And the difference would be 68 minus, or 212 minus 68, and that I believe is 144. And they're saying that this difference is halved every 5 minutes. So this is at time 0, and then after 5 minutes, this will be halved. So there will be 72, right? 1/2 of 144. And then this stays at 68. And then this we can calculate this number right here pretty easily. It would basically be 68 plus 72. But we don't really care about that. I'll just keep going here. Another 5 minutes, this remains at 68, but this halves to 36. Another 5 minutes, this remains 68. This halves to 18. They want to know after 15 minutes. So that's exactly at this point right here, at this point, because 5, 10, 15 minutes has gone by. Okay, now we can calculate the water temperature. It would basically be 68 plus 18, which I believe is 86. And therefore number 9 is B. One sunny day, Ling decided to take a hike in the mountains. She left her house at 8 a.m., drove at a constant speed of 45 miles per hour, and arrived at the hiking trail at 10 a.m. After hiking for 3 hours, Ling drove home at a constant speed of 60 miles per hour, which of the following graph best illustrates the distance between Ling's car and her house over the course of her trip. Okay. Well, you guys remember that formula, speed is equal to distance over time or any variation. So we are given, let's see here, the time, because she left at 8 and arrived at 10. So the time is 2 hours. So that t is 2. And are we given we're given the speed as 45. Okay, so this is 45. So we can figure out the distance. So distance would basically be speed times time. So that would be 45 miles per hour times 2, which is 90. So at 10 a.m., she has traveled 90 miles. So the first thing we have to do is look at which graphs show 90 at 10 a.m. This one does. See, there's 90. This one does not. This one shows whatever this is, about 45, so that's wrong. This one also shows about 45, that's wrong. This one shows 120 at 10 a.m., that's wrong. This one shows 90. Okay, so we're down to A or E. Now A and E look very similar, but there's one difference, and that is this part right here. Notice that when she drives home, she drives faster. So because she drives faster, it will take her less time to get home. So we're going to take this formula and modify it for time. So time is equal to distance over speed. Now, when she goes home, her distance is also 90, right? Because it's 90 from her home to the mountains, and then it would be 90 from the mountains back to her home. So the distance is 90, but the speed this time is 60 miles per hour. So put 60 there. And this is 1.5. So now we have to look at these two graphs and say which graph shows 1.5 for the time. This graph shows 2 hours from 1 p.m. to 3 p.m. from the time she is at the mountains to the time she goes back home. This graph, however, down here, if you look at it carefully, it shows 1.5 hours from the time that she was at the mountains to the time that she came back home. So that's consistent with what we calculated, so therefore number 10 is E.